Hello. I've already got 4 cards out for you, but my mic wasn't on, so we are officially starting now. We have the Ace of Wands at the bottom of the deck, 5 of Pentacles, Hierophant, 6 of Cups, but the one that came out first was the Fool. Just came right out. So I was super excited because that's a great starting card to a reading. Now that we have established kind of these main themes, let's pull some of the index cards just to get a really clear picture right away. Six of Cups, Hierophant, 5 of Pentacles, and the Fool. Oh boy. Pain was felt in reverse. I do believe you dodged a bullet here. That's kind of the feeling that I was getting. But, you know, not in a tower kind of way, but more in a good decision-making kind of way. We'll get into it. Everyone was relieved when he left. Well, with the Fool, somebody's leaving. Somebody's going somewhere new. Well, you started a cult I didn't want to be in reverse, and you dropped the ball in reverse. I think this was something that was out of your hands the whole time, is what I just heard. It's been out of your hands the whole time, and you are realizing that walking away feels the same way either direction, but it's what you had to do. Or, I mean, it seems like maybe it already happened, or there's someone that recently exited your life or experience where it feels like it caused a huge shift to your, I heard morality, interestingly, but like your timeline and all that. We have both who dropped the ball and you dropped the ball in reverse. So that's a double confirmation that you did not drop any balls here. Any ball. Masks were dropped in the reverse. There's a lot of dropping. The word dropped is here 3 times. So someone might have... I love how some people say, like, they must have been dropped on their head, or, you know, they must have dropped me on my head. Just, it's kind of what I'm getting of, like, it's giving dunking on someone unnecessarily, just like being extra cruel. I don't know, let's see. Only take it out when you need it. I want to compete with you. Impossible pain in reverse, and defense is set free. This is incredibly unique and positive of a message, and I just want to cover the table in tarot and see what we make out with here. Because I just get such a good feeling about whatever the Fool is referring to. Whatever you took a leap of faith on, whatever you finally decided to move forward with without any hesitation, without any stress, without any worries, the fear may have been there, but you acted in spite of it. And it reminded you of the beginning of another venture that you've taken in the past that worked out really well. I heard business venture and success. Like, there was just something that you got into and you got up to that showed you how to make money, I think. This is what I'm getting here. The thing with the 5 of Pentacles next to the Hierophant is this is a totally faith-based decision. This is a totally faith-based leap. And that's most things, right? There's not many times, and there are some times, but there's not many times where you set out on a specific expedition knowing exactly what level of success you're going to achieve. You have no idea, right? Most of the time. The times that you do know are when you receive a vision, or just you feel such a resonance about a situation that you just know it's going to happen. It's rare, but obviously that kind of scenario occurs. Very cool message so far. Your energy is very relaxed. Your energy is relaxed because you were not the one dropping. You're not... I feel like you're watching people drop themselves on their heads is kind of what I'm getting. And you're like, I did not do the dropping. I was not dropped. Not me, not today. You're just kind of like, with masks were dropped in reverse, I heard you say, if they're not going to drop their mask, why do I have to even entertain? Interesting. I actually was thinking about masks and kind of like performative postures in the realm of entertainment and masking in conjunction with one another earlier, and this is kind of giving that. It's just sort of like someone wasn't willing down to put, that maybe willing or down, but somebody wasn't willing to put down the performance is what I was trying to say. Let's see what we can get. It's a little muffled up right now. More tarot. We have a sideways card, the Emperor, and it knocked into I want to compete with you. So this may be someone outside of you, an outside source, or maybe an energy that just feels like it's butting heads with you, or just in your situation, like a bull in a china shop sort of thing. Or you're just feeling like you're kind of bouncing on the walls, you might feel restless right now. Thank you. 3 of Cups in reverse, 2 of Swords in reverse, and 2 of Wands in reverse. I am not saying that things are easy right now by any stretch of the imagination, but I do see just a very specific and surgical kind of precision to the solutions of your problems just kind of bobbing along and being solved is what I heard. So I think we're just being shown the underbelly of the situation. 2 of Wands in reverse. I could take a stab at guessing that browsing around on the internet right now is not really the most fulfilling to you, because what the heck am I even reading any of the time when I pull open what? So I don't know. 2 of Swords in reverse, 2 of Wands in reverse, 2 of Swords in reverse. It's kind of like you're weighing 2 decisions between 2 decisions. If I go this way, I have to choose this or that. If I go this way, I have to choose this or that. So let's see if we can use this tiny deck to pull like a card for each side of the decision, just to reveal to us what this might be about. I think they want to be shuffled. I'm just sensing with this Emperor that they're trying to get their way in a specific way, and people are just kind of like, up, shh. You're not getting your way yet, or right now. It's just what I heard. Oh, this one flipped over. We have the Sun in reverse for one side, and for the other side we have the 3 of Swords in reverse. This is so clear. I can feel or hear or sense that you're just kind of saying, oh, do I walk into the rose bush again, or do I just avoid that entirely? Do I walk through the scratchy hole in the fence, or do I just not go near that fence? There's just some kind of like treacherous feeling entry point that you're looking at and saying, do I go into the Hall of Knives, or do I just turn back around? Like, I think you're choosing to heal instead of walking into situations that would completely agitate your inner kid, your inner child, and basically your inner stability. I'm sensing a domineering kind of presence between this Emperor and the Queen of Wands. Let's see what else we can learn from this decision. Next to the Sun in reverse, we have the 6 of Swords in reverse. Not letting you move on, not letting you move forward, not letting you be free, like the depiction of the child in the Sun truly wants to be. These are 2 cards of freedom, restricted. So feel in yourself about what's going on in your life and in your situation right now. And sense where, and I'm hearing captivity, sense where you feel like you're being held captive or in captivity. This can be spiritual captivity, literal. It can be really subtle, What is holding you from moving forward or feeling a sense of freedom, emotionally, spiritually, or otherwise? And what is the direction that feels like turning around when you see the hall of scary shit? You know, you see it and you go, nope, and then you're just on your way back to reassess. So let's see what this Three of Swords also has to say about that side of the decision. I mean, it's clear as day, but things can get so confusing in the 3D. For me, at least. I don't. And things can be confusing. It's pretty common experience, I think. The Chariot came out for the Three of Swords in reverse. The Chariot is the magician in motion. It's the magician once he's set his mind to something. It's kind of the energy that I feel from that card is the magician sets an intention, does the ceremonial work, or, you know, the chanting or the salting or the burning or whatever, and sends the energy out. And, you know, the magical rule is kind of set it and forget it. So set your intention, let the magic do its own work, and it will manifest back to you in whatever time it will take to manifest. So the Chariot is this action of you deciding to turn away from the thing that would seek to harm you, knowing that it would seek to harm you due to past experience or due to a gut feeling or due to a change of heart or, you know, whatever. Feel it out. Trust your intuition. But I see you just kind of jetting the opposite way, because there's a King of Swords in reverse under here, followed by the Devil, followed by the Ten of Wands. Somebody wants to put you to work that did not hire you, but is kind of what I'm getting at. Someone wants to put you... Oh, goodness. I'm hearing the craziest words, but I'm just going to say them to stay true to form. And this is all metaphorical, of course, but I just heard slavery. So I heard captivity, I heard slavery. The downloads that I got before this reading were crazy, so I'm so sorry. I'll put, like, a trigger warning in the description so that you're warned about what I'm bringing up. But, yeah, the download that I got, let me pull it out. Let me share this with you. Separation of church and state was the first thing that came through, and I was like, okay. And false accusations, instigator, liar, falsified information, false, false, false. I just kept hearing the word false. So I checked the news and, of course, was just, like, electrocuted with insane info. I was just like, ah! And anyway, we don't need to talk about that, but the energy is very thick, the energy is very tense, there's a lot going on, there's a lot of feelings of helplessness, of captivity, of, I just heard strangulation, so, you know, spiritual strangulation. Stay safe. Stay safe. I'm sorry to bring up such scary stuff, and I know that tarot readings are here to comfort us, and I promise I'm gonna get to some comforting information. Once again, we're just going through the little thorny patch theoretically together so that you can have a little bit more immunity and strength to know the thorny patch when you approach it, okay? That's the whole reason for bringing up the scary stuff. It's the whole reason for watching scary movies. You can kind of have that similar reaction to a situation and go, how would I react in that? And when you see it approaching, you go, okay, I kind of remember that feeling that I got and wondering what I would do. You're already 20 steps ahead if you hadn't been scared in that same way before. So I'm not out to scare you. I'm out here to encourage you to make proper decisions. You know, it's, we'll see, right? We'll see how it goes. The Hermit, the Two of Pentacles reversed, the Seven of Swords reversed, and the Queen of Wands is back out here. I don't know if I showed her earlier, but she was peeking out of the bottom of the deck. And the Five of Swords in reverse. You're so not interested in arguing, you're so not interested in cantankering. You don't want to fight, you don't want to compete. You want to stay safe, because everything I just talked about, those are really big feelings. And if that's what the collective is feeling, you need to wrap yourself up in a blanket and be a little burrito tonight. For me, please. You need to get your favorite little drink and beverage and just sip it while you watch your favorite cartoon or movie and just relax, because it is a lot to withstand on a daily basis, and I don't think that everyone is considering the widening of the window in tolerance that is inherently taking place on a day-to-day basis due to what has been happening. Okay? So, with the Two of Pentacles in reverse, that card often has me thinking about no one's in control here. You know what I mean? To put it simply, no one's in control. And that's not necessarily the worst thing. Take that with a grain of sand, I wanted to say, or salt. But what it does remind me of is kind of like client to artist relationships where you're kind of both on the same level, looking at each other from the same level, the same field, and trying to meet in the middle with a consensus of like creation, right? A consensus of creation. So it's not necessarily that there's someone on one side dominating the project to the one on the other side. Some projects are for sure definitely like that. But what I like about this card with the Hermit is you're just saying, since nobody's in charge, I'm going within. Since nobody's driving, I'm going within. Since it doesn't make sense outside, I'm looking inside. And what are we finding? You're releasing every lie that you've given to yourself to survive up until this point, trying to please people who clearly did not care for you in the ways that you wanted. I'm just going to say that you wanted, because it seems like you're growing in strength. You're properly realizing what you wanted to see and feel. And I'm losing the channel a little bit right there. I had a thought that felt pretty strong, so maybe let's pull some cards. You're just kind of like, I don't want to fight. I'm not mad. I'm just hiding. I'm not going in that weird, scary place. Cool? Cool. And I don't know what anybody or everybody around you thinks about that. I don't know if you want to know. But I would like to revisit this Two of Swords in reverse and see if there's kind of any mirror-like reflection between these two options that we see here. Or like a bridge. Okay, Four of Pentacles in reverse, speaking to another, inner kid kind of energy. Capricorn energy. And the Lovers on the other side. This is crazy. This is crazy. This is so obvious. Okay, sorry. I'm excited. This just feels so obvious. Okay. You're using the power of what was meant to hold you back in order to create more of the staying power that you have come to know within yourself. You're generating stillness upon stillness. You're using stillness as a generator to power your visions, to power your endeavors, to power your dreams, to power your life. And what would stop you, what would scare you, suddenly inspires you. So you're like, do I want to choose between the shitty past that I endured and had to come from, or do I want to keep focusing on this new miraculous ability to turn stagnation and fear into, I heard lust, power, and love. Because the Lovers are here, I think a lust for life, a power that is internal and eternal, and a door just slammed, so I lost my train of thought again. Let's keep rolling. This is good. This energy is like crazy magnetic and electrifying and gorgeous. It's like translucent and dark and glowing, and I don't know. I think you're dancing with pain in a way that you never have before. It doesn't slow you down anymore if you feel pain in the day-to-day, even if it's mental pain or physical or emotional. You're just kind of like, yeah, it's here, but so am I. Yeah, it's here, but I'm not gonna write it a hate letter. What a waste of time, right? It's like, okay, I'm gonna have my little fail-safes ready, my little break this glass in case of emergency moment, and sit back and see how you feel after that, instead of resenting the fact that you're feeling the pain in the first place. I sense you coming to a new understanding with what it is to have a body that knows what it is to experience pain. Because you're not upset about pain anymore. You accept it. It's a big deal. You've been through a lot. You learn to accept it. That makes life easier. You found a cheat code. I'm like out of breath. I'm excited. 9 of Pentacles in reverse. 8 of Wands upright. You're moving fast. Like your internal growth is quick. Your internal feeling of worthiness and wealth is... I heard a mound. Interesting. Maybe it's like... I'm kind of seeing... have you seen The Mummy? And have you seen the Beatles coming out of the ground and they build like sand out and then they like pop out of the top? That is a terrifying visual. Anyway, it's like a sand mountain growing. That is what your worth is doing inside of you, and it's creating this kind of fountain, this regenerative aspect that is moving quite quickly. It's like oscillating inside of you. It's mimicking the natural rhythm of your energetic field. This is gigantic. This is monumental. You cannot be contained. You cannot be contained. No box can contain you. And that is what is making your worth swell. It's because you're realizing that anyone can say anything about anything you've done, but you just know who you are. And that's so important. That's so important to know who you are. What's the point of, you know? Did this deck say enough? I just want to say those 2 cards. It could be it. Okay. Let's go from one other deck, because this one's pretty. We ended up with the Queen of Swords at the bottom of the deck there, and the Page of Cups. They didn't want to say this. They were like, we don't want to bring this negativity into it, so I will just spark notes it because it could be pertinent information. But there were just 2 people that were not in favor of you developing self-worth through your energetic field being repaired. There were 2 people that were siphoning off of your energy. A water sign and an air sign could be significant, or just, someone with a sharp tongue and someone who's kind of detached and daydreamy. That's all I'm going to say about it. One more shuffle. Good reading. It's going to be an easy choice. Whatever choice this is, it's going to be so easy. What came out sideways? 8 of Swords. You don't think it's going to be easy. I know that for sure. You don't think it's going to be easy to do what's right for you because it's new. You don't think it's going to be easy to choose what's healthy because you've never done it before. Is what I heard. So I'm proud of you for even considering it now. You know what I mean? I think you're gonna do right by yourself. Page of Wands and the High Priestess. I just heard there's been an attack on your identity, and that might play into the separation of church and state statement earlier. That was the first thought in my download. And me personally, I see the Page of Wands as a homosexual, as a young, budding homosexual. That projection is subject to change. Any of my opinions about any of these cards can change with the wind. But right now, I see that as a baby gay. And having been a baby gay in my life experience, it's so important to protect aspects of your identity that are fresh, that are new, and that don't have enough experience to clap back as hard as they will be able to eventually when someone comes to harm them. But I don't even see harm nearing you because you cannot be harmed when you feel the full extent of your internal wealth at all times. I just heard you're moving up. Queen of Cups and the Four of Cups. You're saying, I'm using my intuition, and the baby gay card, I feel a need to go back to that. I'm not not calling you anything specifically, but it's more so about like a specific aspect of your identity that someone might make fun of or call different and therefore dangerous. You know, all the types of things, intersectionality, and all the ways that people can be belittled and hurt just for existing, literally just standing there being made fun of. So, you know, do you know? Anything where, like, there's just a new and budding aspect of you that can be talked down upon, you realize that the resilience was there all along. The call of brilliance was coming from inside the house, and there's nothing that anyone can say that can talk you out of security in your position if you want it to be so, if that's what you want it to be. And you said, that is what I want it to be, so I need to touch in to my intuition. Interesting, touch in, but tap into my intuition and turn down any opportunities that feel like they might, I'm hearing, try to humble me. So, you know, anyone trying to put you in your place. You know your place, you know who you are, you know who you've become, you know that you're in a constant state of becoming, you know that you are always becoming, and you know that not all opportunities are good ones. Because you know protecting yourself is more important than getting along with everybody. Here's that Nine of Pentacles again. The worth is on the table. You're gonna choose right. Your mind will try to play tricks on you, and maybe even your words will try to escape in ways that you didn't mean. But try to ignore that and go back to your intuition every time it feels hard to wrap your head around something. Page of Swords sideways and Two of Swords upright. You feel more confused about the aspect of decision making than about the decision itself. I think you're looking at decision making very philosophically right now. And I don't know how long this collective is going to stay in the energy of needing to make a decision. I kind of feel like it's already been made, but I think now you're pondering the pondering. I'm glad to see the Two of Swords up right now. Did a little turnaround. Maybe this deck's done too. Oh, there's the Chariot in reverse. Let's get a little preview, or wait, yeah, let's get a little preview of what would happen if you turn away from the decision to protect yourself from what feels like an obvious danger. Happens if we don't choose the Chariot. The Hanged Man in reverse, and the Tower in reverse. Oh boy. And the Knight of Wands upright. Listen, I've got to call this reading because I have to go. But I'm going to pull like 2 more cards. You know, I don't like pondering what you're going to choose against, but I do like following the cards' lead when they just kind of flip around and say, but what if you didn't? You know what I mean? So this one's saying, yes, you would avoid a bigger emotional problem. And here's that Three of Swords in reverse again. Either way, you're going to heal. Either way, you're going to grow from this situation, and it's just going to, like, push you out into a different energy, whatever you choose. Swords energy doesn't seem to be the most comforting at this moment, but it seems like you have a lot of fire energy behind you. It's like you're either going to respond to this situation with a lot of fire in your energy, and you're going to just kind of back, or you're just going to turn around and walk away. Or you're just going to use your discernment really strongly to know which of the bids and opportunities are the ones you want to grab and which you want to... It's like you're either going to be sitting in an emotional state, a mentally active state, or a physically active state, which can also mean very active emotions. Okay? I wish we had a little more time, but this has been super fun, and you know I'll be back. So I hope any of this helped. And, you know... big decisions or small decisions, it's all the same. You know yourself, and usually you know what you're gonna do before you've even really thought about it. So, have a good one, and I'll see you around.